Beyond Synth 388.
Good afternoon. This is God. Beyond Synth is entirely supported by the listeners. Awesome people such as Gary Heather, Kudzost, Raur, Ken Giroux, and the immortal Chrysalia Lane.
Hey there, and welcome to Beyond Synth. I'm Andy, I host this show, and we are winding down the year 2023 with a whole bunch of what I've dubbed Andy's Playlist Warehouse, where I chat with awesome patrons and listeners of Beyond Synth, and I play all the awesome music that I didn't get a chance to play during the year. So that's what we're going to do today. I think there's probably going to be one more of these, which I think is safe to say will probably air in the first week of January, and then I go on a fantastic break while I figure out the next season of Beyond Synth. But enough about that, we don't have to worry about that. I did mention that, when we do these Andy's Playlist Warehouse, we're talking to the awesome Beyond Synth supporters. And that, of course, is the awesome people who support the show by going to patreon.com/BeyondSynth or by clicking the PayPal link that's in the episode descriptions. That's another way of supporting the show. And the reason why I bring that up is because I want to thank Mr. Stephen Forster. That's right, we got a new patron here in the £5 Club. For some reason that name sounds familiar, and so now I'm wondering if it's a new patron or if Stephen Forster was already there, but then he changed his account information or something. You let me know, Stephen Forster. And then there's Tronjavolta, who upgraded his support. Although that could also possibly just be a Christmas gift. But either way, it's appreciated. And of course, we met Tronjavolta only a few episodes ago. It's very exciting. So look, let's listen to some music, and then we will go chat with some awesome Beyond Synth patrons. So I got a cool one here from MicroMatscenes from his album Scenes 2. This is I See Monsters. And that was I See Monsters by MicroMatscenes from the album Scenes 2. Lots of scenes, lots of cool music because it's Andy's playlist warehouse. Now let's go chat with some awesome Beyond Synth patrons. I got one on the line right now. It's Joshua. How's it going, man?
Adequate. That's all.
So what do the Beyond Synth listeners know you as? Because you're a supporter of the show, but you do it under a different name?
Yeah, Joshua Winter. Also, if you see me in Discord or whatnot, I am Synth Weasel.
Joshua Winter. I always want to... Even though I know Chatterak hasn't been a supporter for a long time, but those names used to be sandwiched together when I used to do the Patreon shout-outs, and so whenever I hear Joshua Winter in my head, I always say, Joshua Winter and Chatterak is what I always want to say, but I don't even know if that guy's still alive. So, what's going on in your life?
Not a whole lot. I kind of got a busted rib right now. I'm nursing, so...
What happened to you?
Well, I do some wrestling stuff actually, and I got busted in the ring a little bit. So I don't know if it's so much the wrestling or just that I'm getting old.
Wait a second. Last time we talked, you were on an episode of Trivia Time, and I thought your deal was working at a guitar factory.
Oh yeah, I still work at the guitar factory as well.
And the wrestling is on the side?
Yes.
Wait a second. You are a wrestler?
Yes and no. I guess I'm not one yet, but it's like something I've dabbled in for like a long time, but like for various traumatic reasons, it's never come to full fruition. I guess I've never really considered myself to have like the title of wrestler until I've like, had a few matches. It's like I don't have a body of work. Does that make sense? And I don't give myself the title of that, if that makes sense. And I see people all the time like, oh, I'm a wrestler, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, okay, you got a match you want to show me? And no.
Yeah, I guess that's a good attitude to have because those sorts of people are frustrating. Like I'm always sort of annoyed by some people that just have like this enormous self-confidence and nothing to really back it up because I've never had that. Like there's so many things that I think I'm good at, but I still don't even like to say that out loud because I feel it's like shameful to be boastful or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's some people who walk along and you're like, oh, I'm a musician and they haven't made music and you're like, why do you get off saying that? Like if you're a musician, then I'm a musician, right? So like, anyway, whatever.
Yeah, it's something that like I started when I was really young, and for various reasons, like, there's a lot of drama in that sort of industry. So somebody would piss somebody off and like, well, you don't get to use this ring. And, so that would affect whoever. Then, I got really fed up with the drama and I just kind of quit and like just turned my back on it for 10 years. And then recently there's a school that opened up where I live, which is a pretty high quality school in my opinion. And I'm like, you know what? I'm older. I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot, but I want to at least do something to say that I did it. And, it's kind of like going back and taking care of unfinished business. So I've gone back to the training school and, I've been doing that for a little while and polishing up what I learned before with what I'm learning now. And hopefully I'll get in the ring and, have a few matches to have like a satisfying body of work, and then I can find something to do kind of like, behind the scenes or something like that. So
right. Wait, so there's a school?
Yes.
What's it called?
The school that I'm attending is called the FXE Academy in Hendersonville, Tennessee.
What is that, like night school? Like when do you go?
It operates through the week, Monday through Fridays, depending on the class level. You can get about 3 classes a week. Really kind of a good deal, honestly, because most wrestling schools, it's 1 day a week. In this instance, you have like 3 possible days you can go, and that's a lot of ring time, which is kind of a coveted thing to have.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what I covet is cool music, and so I'd like to play some now. I got a track here from Outrunner. This is The Escape. And that was The Escape by Outrunner on Andy's playlist Warehouse. We're listening to lots of cool songs and talking to cool people, and I am on the phone right now with Joshua Winter, who's talking about going to wrestling school. Wait, if you still work at the guitar factory, you should become a wrestler and have guitars as props, like manufacture some guitars with like really cheap wood so you can run into the ring and like smash people with them.
I don't know about that. Maybe somebody already does that.
Oh, who does that?
A wrestler by the name of Jeff Jarrett, who actually lives in Hendersonville, Tennessee by randomness.
Interesting. Maybe you can offer to help that guy out, be an understudy and make him guitars with cheap materials.
Maybe. I'm sure he sources those from somewhere, so
you gotta
I got a horn in on that business deal.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. You just show up and you're like, listen, man, I don't know who your guitar guy is, but let's just say,
let me make you a deal that you can't refuse.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like fun, but then your rib is sore, so then what? Wait, it's not just sore. Did you say it's broken?
Yeah, it's fractured.
So then, are you still going to wrestling class with a fractured rib?
Not right now. I'm letting it heal, so that's the unfortunate thing. It's like, I really want to get into class, but I really should let this heal.
Yeah. So what happened exactly?
I think it's a combination of two things. I was in a match with this one guy, and he had me on the ground, and he was just stomping me while I was on the ground, and I heard a pop, and yeah, finished the match we were working on. But I think it's a combination of getting hit really hard, and maybe I think I should focus more on getting more calcium in my nutrition. You
think you're not getting enough?
I think so. I'm getting older. Like, I turned 40. It's crazy to say that I'm somebody who is trying to be a pro wrestler at that age.
Wait, what the fuck are you doing? 40 years old?
Yeah, I know, right?
You're fucking wild, man.
I know.
Doing wrestling at 40? I'm 42 and I can't even fucking pick up a plate.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that, like, once I do get trained in, I don't have a whole lot of matches that I'm going to be able to do. It's more or less, hey, do something for a short bit and then find something else I can do to contribute on the side. There's all kinds of other jobs besides being a wrestler that you can do, so.
Well, why don't you, like, wind that into, like, a character, right? So if you're, like, in your 40s, you can be, like, the grandpa character or something.
Actually, I thought about something like that. Like,
nice.
Just constantly, like, hold on, you're running around too much. You just, let me catch my breath.
Or fucking, maybe there's some kind of, like, music thing, too. Is there such thing as a wrestler who's, like, the roadie?
Actually, there was one in the mid-90s. He actually was a character that was, like, kind of like a manager for Jeff Jarrett.
Oh. Why do all my ideas fucking connect to this Jeff Jarrett guy?
I think I figured it out. You're Jeff Jarrett, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. I can't do an impression because I don't know this man, but does he sound like that?
No, he sounds like, he's from Tennessee, so he sounds like kind of like a Southern car salesman. I don't know why.
Oh, I like that character. Southern car salesman. Why don't you be that guy?
Maybe I will.
You have long hair, right?
I do, yes.
Yeah, so be Southern car salesman and, like, do a thing where you, like, comb your hair to the side so it looks like a weird comb over and, like, try and put it in, like, a ponytail and just wear, like, some old shitty jacket.
Like the mayor from Jaws.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that jacket he has.
And that can be the wrestler's name. He's the mayor.
Now, when you say Barracuda, people are like, what?
Yeah, man, like, he just runs in, just fucking says Jaws quotes. I don't remember what the mayor says in that movie, but to be fair, I haven't seen Jaws in, like, decades. Is the mayor like, we're not closing the beach? And then...
Yeah, that's exactly his whole shtick. He's willing to feed people to the shark, that way they can get money for, amity.
Yeah. Well, listen, I get my money by listening to cool music. That's not even true, I don't think. But I got one here I want to listen to, and then we'll keep chatting. This is from Simulakrum Lab. This track is called Roadblock. And that was Roadblock by Simulakrum Lab. And I'm here right now, Andy's playlist warehouse, a warehouse full of music and lots of cool people on the phone, like Mr. Joshua Winter, who has a fractured rib.
And that's it.
So what else is going on in your life? The guitar manufacturing business is fine?
Yeah, it's good. I've actually got a week off this week.
Ooh.
So that's nice. I love having time off. It's great. It's paid too, so you can't beat that.
Right, but you get to spend your week off with a fractured rib.
Okay, so I guess you can beat that. I am corrected.
So what are you going to do then for this week off? You can't wrestle. You're not at work. You playing any games? You watching some movies?
I think I want to write up like a one-shot for, I do the RPG stuff too, so I think I want to write a one-shot and go run a one-shot game somewhere with somebody. I think that'd be fun.
What is a one-shot?
For example, like Dungeons & Dragons and like those tabletop role-playing games. Typically, when you have a group, they play like a long game that's like 3 or 4 months long, and that's called a campaign.
Yeah, okay.
And a one-shot is like 1 or 2 sessions that's really short and enclosed. That way, because scheduling is hard. I don't have to tell you that. You know how scheduling is.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can offer somebody something that is not super time restrictive, it makes it easy for it to be done in 2 sessions. And it's like, that's really great, because I don't know how many times I've been in a long form campaign that just fizzled out and never ended. It's really frustrating and not satisfying.
But how do you determine what the length will be? Because the story just sort of does what the story does, right? Like, so do you have to like pencil in some sort of end point?
You just kind of like make it short, really.
It's just an agreement between the players that just like, this is a one shot, so it's okay to make your character jump off a cliff tomorrow so that it ends?
Honestly, yeah, and some games probably, like some of the horror games, like your character goes crazy and jumps off a cliff. That's really kind of dark, honestly. But, that's more of those warning type things in some games. But I mean, you can make like, hey, here's a simple problem that is pretty easily solved, because there's a lot of games that, like in the long form games, part of the game is discovering different aspects of the problem. It's like an onion, you know what I mean? You have the problem, but like you peel away a layer and it's like a little bit of the mystery is exposed. It's just, basically giving the players a smaller onion.
Right. And then there's no mystery. It's just sort of like, at the end of this thing, there's a dragon man and you got to fight him tonight and we're going home. So this ends like either you die or he dies, but it's over tonight.
Yes. That's a good example.
The Dragon Man. Wait, so when you say you're going to write one, though, what does that mean?
It's less of writing and more like just making an outline of, here's the problem, here are some clues the players can find to figure out what's going on, and a little bit of set dressing, like, hey, if they go over here and talk to this NPC, then this is what this NPC is about.
Oh, so you're the Dungeon Master.
Yeah, or Game Master. For a non-game specific title. That's a funny thing. A lot of systems, they all have like a name for their GM. Like some systems call it the referee. Some systems like Dungeons and Dragons, they call it the Dungeon Master. And then there's Game Master. And some more cinematic games refer to the Game Master as like the director.
So what do you like to be called?
I prefer Game Master. It's kind of, I hate the master part. It sounds really pretentious, but like it sounds neutral enough with just like Game Master. So,
and I guess that's something you can do with a broken rib?
Yeah. So eventually I've got like a goal of making an actual play podcast. So
that sounds like fun. I wanted to try doing that, but then it ended up being a lot of work and I was like, hey man, I'm just going to stay in my lane.
Yeah, it's probably more work than it seems like it would be, but
Quit bugging him. Sorry, right now fucking Johnny just keeps bugging Chester. Leave him alone. Johnny's a little kitten, and Chester's a little older, and Johnny is just in still like kitten energy mode, and so every time Chester tries to relax, Johnny just like leaps on him. Now they're wrestling in front of me.
I saw pictures of those. They're both like pretty fluffy yellow cats, aren't they?
Yep.
Oh, I heard that.
Chester's saying like, piss off, and then Johnny just keeps jumping on him. I will officially separate you.
Are you just gonna like grab them and have them like looking at each other?
It's like what you do. They like wrestling. Chester gets them in a headlock and then they sort of like roll around on the ground. Exactly like you do.
Yes. And then watch out, they're gonna break a rib.
Yeah, that would be bad. But I tell you what would be cool is listening to cool music. So I got a track here from Promenade Cinema, and this is called On Video. And that was On Video by Promenade Cinema. That's a cool song. I think that single came out right after I had them on the show. And, yeah, it's good. And I'm here listening to cool music and talking to people. And right now I'm talking to Joshua Winter about being a game master and fractured ribs and guitars. So is there anything else going on? Do you have any cool plans for the holidays?
Other than trying to run a game and laying low and letting this rib heal, not really a whole lot. So,
Well, that sounds like fun. How many people do you have to do the game with? Do you do it online or in person?
both. I kind of want to do this in person. I think it'd just be nice just to go to like a bar or a pub or somewhere and like just, hey, let's have a game, you know, like really lighthearted about it. I'm like, oh, your character's dead. Oh, well, here's another character.
I've been playing some of those like mixed reality games.
Like the VR stuff?
Yeah. I think that'd be cool. I think there's one game that's sort of, not that I haven't played it, but where you're meant to play with other people in the same room with VR headsets, and then like there's like a virtual game board in front of you. And I think in some ways that might be cool for like a tabletop RPG, if you're like, you're sitting around, but you actually have like this world in front of you, but it is also on the table. But then like you could have characters and like move them around and they'd like animate and shit. I think that'd be cool.
I mean, that could be cool. I think part of the appeal of like role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons and whatnot is building the world in your head, because the GM can give you a description of everything, but like everybody kind of has their own little version of it in their head in a weird way. I know that sounds kind of weird, but
you a big fan of using your imagination?
Hell yeah.
Boo! The internet destroyed my imagination a long time ago. Now I'm all for this mixed reality nonsense.
Yeah, I imagine I'm cool every day. It's
Hey, well, man, that's, it's like positive affirmations. It's a good thing to do. You can sit there and be like, my rib is not broken, and then go and do some crazy stretch, and then you'll be fine.
Or let me sneeze. That's really fun.
God, that sucks, man. How long is it going to take to heal?
I'd imagine at this point about 4 weeks. It happened about 2 weeks ago. Because when it first happened, I thought it was just bruised. Mm-hmm. So I was working for like a whole week without it hurting at all. And then I was at work like stacking boxes of guitars, and I'm like, oh, whatever, just a bruised rib, blah, blah, blah. And then like when I was at work, I felt a pop.
God, this fucking popping nonsense.
Yeah, I know, right? And then when it popped, like I immediately started having like sharp pains whenever I was lifting stuff. I'm like, hey, I gotta go and get this looked at. And they're like, this didn't happen at work, did it? And I'm like, no. And they're like, okay, go.
Someone smashed a guitar into my chest. Oh man. Well, listen, I hope it gets better, right?
It will.
Look at you. I like your positive attitude. That's good.
I mean, somebody has to be positive about something somewhere. So
yeah.
It's so dark out there.
Yeah, don't go on the internet.
Yeah, not just thinking about it. I'm gonna go get a drink now.
Yeah. Well, look, man. How about this? Let's listen to one more song, and then I'll hang up on you. So I'll give you the length of a song to think about what you want to say before I hang up on you. How about that?
Maybe I'll hang up on you first. But yeah, let's listen to this song.
Look at you. This is I like the assertive Joshua Winter.
That's right.
But first, we're gonna listen to a song. This is Futurecop with Facing the Past. And that was Facing the Past by Futurecop, who I had on earlier this season. Was that this season? I think it was. Anyways, look, we're back. Or was that last season? Whatever. This is Andy's Playlist Warehouse. We've been listening to cool songs and talking to cool people. We've been talking to Joshua Winter, but I'm going to hang up on you. So what do you have to say before that happens?
Well, I just want to say, Andy, thank you very much for everything you do for this community. I don't feel like people give you enough credit, and I just wanted to take a moment to do that and say thank you very much.
Well, I appreciate that. That's the only part of this conversation I'm not going to edit out.
That's fair. I'm okay with that.
It's just literally just going to be me talking and then you saying compliments. I like compliments. They make me feel good.
Thank you very much. I think, you do a lot for this community, so I just want to take a moment and thank you and give you credit for that. So,
well, to be fair, it's all selfish because I like cool music and I like listening to it, and I also like talking to people on the phone, so I feel like I should acknowledge that there's a selfish motivation.
Oh my gosh, Andy, can't you just take a compliment? Jeez.
All right, thank you, Joshua Winter, for the compliment. I appreciate it.
That's right.
Do you have any cool holiday plans?
Not really. I don't really do Thanksgiving, because I'm not really a big fan of Thanksgiving. But,
You don't like eating turkey?
It's more or less, my ideologies are like completely divergent from the rest of the
family. Oh, are you all just like, I can't celebrate because some people came in and fucking wiped out the indigenous population?
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we just eat the turkey. I don't... mind you, we have ours at a different time. We already had our Thanksgiving. Ours is in October.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is your Thanksgiving called something different up there?
No, we call it Thanksgiving.
Okay. Well, I was completely unaware of this. I thought you guys just didn't even have a Thanksgiving.
No, we do. I don't know what ours is about, though. It can't be about Plymouth Rock.
It's about capitalism because
I'm sure. It's an excuse to go buy a turkey, so that's pretty much what we do. But whatever. The only reason why I'm really more aware of the American one now than I used to be was just because we started doing Black Friday. Because we didn't used to do Black Friday up here. Like that wasn't a thing until about like 4 or 5 years ago.
Interesting.
So now I know American Thanksgiving because that's the day I go on Amazon and waste 4 hours scrolling through deals of things I have no intention of buying.
Oh, that's what I've got to do. I got to waste money on Amazon.
Yep, that's what I do. That's what I do on American Thanksgiving is, I'll do that and then I'll go, maybe I will get a fucking arcade one up, and then I'll look and I'm like, yeah, they're still not cheap enough, and then I don't. And that's the end. That's what Black Friday will be for me.
I'm going to go buy something useless I don't need. I probably buy more dice. I buy a lot of dice.
Can you get dice on it? Well, Chris, what's a dumb question?
Andy, what the hell? Everything on Amazon.
Yeah, that's true. I've never had more of like a love-hate relationship with a website in my life.
Oh, I feel that. Every time I'm on there, it's like, I hate this really horrible corporation that takes advantage of its employees and shits on them, but they have everything. And I feel guilty buying stuff from them. I really do sometimes.
Well, I just don't like shopping. I don't like shopping in stores. Like buying things online has been so amazing, and I just have to forget that there's people being crushed by machines right now in a warehouse somewhere. Like there's some robot crane that just fucking crushed a dude, and they're like, everybody go back to work, and they probably just put pylons around the corpse so that people just keep working. I just have to put that out of the back of my mind because I need another PlayStation controller.
Yeah, I mean, you can always hope that, like, for example, like with the recent strikes, that like a lot of companies are actually improving conditions for their employees, which is great. I'm glad for that.
Well, I'm just hoping at the very least that when the people in the warehouse get crushed by the robot, it's just sort of some kind of like instant death. Like maybe like the robot should be electrified as well. So like once it crushes the guy, it also just fucking shocks him to death so that he's not like in a lot of turmoil.
Oh, damn. Jeez, that's, well, I guess quick. So yeah, well, I worked in one place where there was a story that a guy fell into the cardboard compactor, and you know how those compactors really slowly.
Oh no!
Oh god, it's a story, so you don't know how true it is. Could it just be some bullshit that somebody said, be like morbid, but somebody said like you could hear the guy screaming for like 5 minutes straight.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, you know what? I'm sorry I shared that. That's really kind of
Happy Thanksgiving. Well, listen. I am going to hang up on you now, but it was fun chatting. I enjoyed the story about the man getting crushed in the fucking cardboard compactor. It's kind of like Star Wars.
Yeah.
When they're in the compactor in New Hope.
Which, that's the game I run the most of Star Wars, so...
So there you go. See, it's all coming together.
There we go.
But you have a lovely holiday and keep being cool. And yeah, man, hope all your dreams come true.
You be cool too, Andy.
All right, and that was my chat with Joshua Winter. He's a cool guy. Now let's go talk to somebody else. So I'm now on the phone with David Evans. Is that correct?
Yeah, hi Andy.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Where are you talking to me from?
I'm talking to you from Cambridge in England.
Is it an exciting place to be?
Yeah, it's quite nice. Very picturesque. Definitely a very nice place to live, but very, very expensive to live here also.
We have a Cambridge as well.
Yes. I think there's a few around in this one in the States as well.
I think I was literally having a conversation with somebody about like all the city names that are the same as like British city names.
Yeah.
And I couldn't think of there's a whole bunch I couldn't think of. And now that you've mentioned Cambridge, I'm like, yeah, we got a Cambridge, so I can add that to the list.
Yeah, just popping up all over the place.
So what's going on in the life of David today?
Just a work day, so I'm just working from home today. Mostly kind of a software guy, so I'm just working away, kind of playing some cool music by myself in a dark room, just coding all day, so it's quite fun.
Do you prefer to code in the dark?
I think I just don't particularly like natural light.
Vampire.
Yeah.
David Evans the Vampire. I get it.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like fun. Do you have like a family in there, or you just...
Yeah, so I got married last year, and me and my wife, we got a dog at the start of this year, so kind of bringing up a puppy as well, which is definitely a lot of work.
What's the dog's name?
The dog's name is Biskit.
Biskit the dog.
Yeah. So it's kind of a joke from the game Animal Crossing. So me and my wife were playing a lot of Animal Crossing, and there's a particular character there called Biskit. So we kind of thought that if we were going to have a dog at any point, then we'd have to call it Biskit after the villager in Animal Crossing.
Who is Biskit?
It's some weird kind of orange dog that just pops up all over the place. I'm sure if you Google it, you'll find it, but I think it's like Bizkit.
Oh, okay.
Spelling for biscuit.
Is that how you spell your biscuit?
No, we just spell it the regular way.
Yeah, you're not heathens.
No.
I don't think I ever met Biskit. I did play that game when it first came out, like at the start of the pandemic, and
yeah.
I did play it for quite a while and then just dropped it, and I like literally never touched it again.
Yeah, same. We played it for a while. It kind of came out like a week or two before lockdown or something like that, and it was kind of funny to see the amount of people playing it, but it definitely kind of died off towards the end.
Yeah.
I was just happy because like kind of with the Switch, I kind of got the Switch came along, and I spent a lot of money getting like a Nintendo 64 and all the old games I used to play, and then like a month later they started dropping the N64 online and stuff, and I was super annoyed because I just got like a really nice N64, got all hooked up and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is much more convenient.
Yeah, although it is, I think you still need the controller, like, because I got one that has the buttons in the right place, because for some reason my brain, I've tried over the years, like I remember I even modded a PlayStation controller when I was playing N64 games on my computer, where I even bought like a yellow analog stick that I like swapped out so that it was yellow, and so it matched like the N64 color scheme and stuff, and I switched out the buttons.
Cool.
Because that's the one part I find really difficult, is like when I go back and play Zelda and it's like left on the right joystick is the C left button, and that like I just don't, you know.
Yeah. I recently completed Ocarina of Time. Not like 100% completed, because that's kind of a whole other endeavor on itself. But yeah, but it was really fun just playing that again, listening to the music. And likewise, I completed Lilac Wars, but I think it's called Star Fox 64 over there. But completing that on like expert hard mode, which was like really hard, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, I'm proud of you, and I tell you what we're going to do to celebrate. We're going to listen to some cool music. So I want to listen to this track from the Astral Stereo Project. This is Ocean Dreams. And that was Ocean Dreams by the Astral Stereo Project. And we're back here in Andy's playlist warehouse. We're listening to all the cool music that I've wanted to share with everybody over the year and talking to cool people like Mr. David Evans, who's just told us that he just beat Ocarina of Time and Lilat Wars.
Yeah, a lot of fun with that. On the time spent on the more hard levels over several days, but eventually got there.
Yeah, I was doing another Ocarina playthrough. It's been so long. That was the game I used to play like once a year back in the day. So pretty much, like 1998, 99, the early 2000s, I would usually do like kind of an Ocarina of Time playthrough. But then I haven't played it in a long time, and so I was just trying to remember everything. It's tough, like I was like wandering around Lon Ranch, trying to remind myself, like, how the fuck do I get the horse again? Like, I know I had to do a race, yeah. But like no one's asking me to race right now. And then I'm like, oh yeah, you got to go to the future, but then you got to know the song. So in the past, you got to learn the song. Anyway, so what have you been doing for fun then over there?
Not a whole lot. I think quite busy work-wise, and I think any of my spare time is just going into dog training and stuff, which is adjusted my kind of normal schedule, I guess. But apart from that...
Does your dog need training?
Yeah, it's a very energetic dog. It's a border collie. It has a lot of energy and needs to not be entertained, but I guess given mental stimulation to keep it happy. Otherwise it will wreck the couch or chew up things. But he's quite a good dog anyway, so it's alright.
So how often do you have to take Biskit to training?
Probably like once a week we go to training, but I'm doing training like at least 3 times a day, just to keep him good.
When you go to the thing, does Biskit have classmates?
Yeah, and funnily enough, they're not. Like, the dogs aren't allowed to interact with each other, which is a little bit funny, I guess. It's kind of a thing the trainers encourage, that they don't want the dogs interacting with each other, which is like, okay, fair enough.
Well, you just end up with some silly room of like a bunch of dogs like trying to hump each other, right? Like, isn't that what it would be?
No, I mean, I don't think quite humping each other, but they definitely want to go over, they want to sniff each other or have a little run around. It's all good. The thing that annoys me most is like, it's quite a bit of a drive to get to the training area, to and from. I'm not a fan of driving, so it's like a bit of a drive to go like every Sunday or whatever.
Do you have like just a really stern dog trainer guy who's just like, this isn't a dog park? Like gets all mad when the dogs try and have a good time?
No, they're very understanding, because sometimes if the dog isn't doing what you want it to do, you can get quite frustrated, and especially if you're in like a big room of other people as well, you're a little bit of pressure on yourself as well. But I think like the trainers are very understanding. They'll come over, help you out, they'll take you to the side if you need like a little one-on-one action for 5 minutes or whatever. That's generally quite good. Can't complain it.
Well, listen, man, I love some good one-on-one action, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I thought I'd set you up like that.
Yeah. Sex. So look, I also like cool music, so let's listen to this track from the Phantom Division. This is Blood Moon. And that was Blood Moon by the Phantom Division. That's a cool track on Andy's playlist Warehouse. We had a warehouse full of songs and we're playing them all and we're talking to cool people. And right now I'm chatting with Mr. David Evans, all the way from Cambridge. He's training his dog Biskit. He's playing video games. He's taking some time away from work right now. Am I interrupting an important work session?
No. It's pretty relaxed today. Nothing too strenuous. I should clarify, I'm not originally from England. I moved from Ireland to England about 12, 13 years ago now. But kind of set up here now, somewhat permanently, I guess.
Did you want to assimilate and absorb the local accent, or you're like, you're gonna stick with the Irish?
I mean, I hope the Irish accent is still coming through. I think whenever I go home back to Ireland, I kind of start to think that maybe I'm slightly losing the accent, which is a little disheartening, but try to retain it.
Well, you sound Irish to me.
Thank you.
What about your wife then? Is she a British lady?
Yeah. She's from here. She's from Cambridge.
That's nice. What's the word when like two countries come together and it's like a bond of like solidarity?
Oh.
You know, like if, like Ireland and England were like having a feud and so like they marry the prince and the princess from the different places and then they get married so that they can share the...
Yeah, I'm not too sure what that word is, unfortunately.
Well, there's got to be a word. Hold on. Is there a word when two kingdoms marry each other's kids to form a union? ? Could not parse your authentic token. What the fuck?
Oh dear.
Hey, fuck you. Okay,
Oh dear.
Hello. Let's try hello. Can you parse that, you fuck? All right, let me try this again. What do you call it when two kingdoms marry each other's kids to form a union? ? When two kingdoms arrange a marriage between their respective heirs as a means of forming a political or strategic alliance, it is often referred to as a royal marriage or a political marriage. This type of arrangement has been historically common among noble and royal families as a way to strengthen ties between different regions, ensure peace, or consolidate power. So, let's go back.
Yeah.
You and your wife, is it a royal marriage?
No, I probably wouldn't go that far. Sorry.
That's okay. So what does she do? Does she work from home too, or is she off gallivanting?
She is in the office today, so her work, they want them in 3 days a week, whereas mine is like, you can be in 2 days a week, so there's always one of us at home with the dog, like to make sure he's okay as well. But yeah, it's just working from home, which is good, so we can take in any deliveries or get some washing done or whatever. So
look at that, eh? I like the efficient life of David Evans. You got everything all worked out.
Yeah.
Yesterday, fucking Johnny peed on my son's carpet, and I didn't know how to. Johnny's our kitten.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's like unhappy because he saw me giving treats to Chester, and like I wasn't giving Johnny any treats, and all of a sudden I turn around, there's this fucking puddle of piss, and I'm like, "You son of a bitch!" So he's sitting there all mad that he wasn't getting a treat. So just goes to show, man, all types of pets can fuck up your furniture.
yeah, definitely.
I'll have to take him to training. But first, I want to listen to some music, so I got a track here from Sodiac. This is Trust Only Blood. And that was Trust Only Blood by Sodiac. And we're here on Andy's Playlist Warehouse listening to cool songs. I just played 2 Blood tracks in a row. How do you feel about that? You're a vampire.
Yeah, sounds pretty good.
So is there anything else that's going on? Do you ever, you find yourself listening to the show and then you're like, man, Andy's fucking wrong on this one, or I'm going to give him a piece of my mind. Now's your opportunity.
No, I mean, I kind of agree with a lot of the, I guess the kind of topics that come up. Video games are about kind of movies. I do enjoy when you and Marco just review the kind of crap movies or whatever. I really enjoy them. It's a lot of fun.
Do you ever go and try and seek out the movies that we watched?
No, because they're generally a bit awkward for me to find without acquiring them in illegal ways here.
Do they don't have Tubi over there?
I mean, I don't think we have Tubi, but I've like looked and I couldn't see anything available. Yeah. So it doesn't work where I am. I would need to do a VPN. I am capable of doing that, but I just don't have a VPN set up. At least at the moment, because nothing has encouraged me to do that.
Yeah. To be fair, it's not really worth it. A lot of these movies are pretty stupid. It's like you're not any worse off having not seen them.
Yeah. We do watch a lot of Hallmark Christmas movies, like around Christmas time, but we watch them just to take the piss out of them, not like watching them for entertainment. We're just watching them to laugh at how bad they are.
Yeah, I don't think my wife appreciates it when I walk in the room, because like she'll watch those things. It's sort of like this kind of comfort Christmas stuff for her. And if I walk in the room, like it's like I just turn instantly into like just some sarcastic asshole, and it's like I don't think she appreciates it.
Maybe just things like, in one shot the person's wearing like a red jumper, and then like 2 seconds later all of a sudden they're like wearing a coat or something, and it's like the kind of consistency just wasn't considered. And
I think a lot of those movies are also like filmed in the same place. Like I think they have like a Christmas Town set that they just sort of rotate around. It's somewhere in Canada. I feel like, I don't know.
There's always some kind of weird European country that doesn't exist that they have to go to save Christmas, etc.
Yeah, like it's absurd how many of those things there are. Like I know it's a cliche, but then if you actually like look at how many of these fucking Hallmark Christmas movies, and they all have like the same poster. It's like they all look exactly the same. It's whatever. But hey man, look at me. Like I play like the video games and I always get the same options and things like this. So if sometimes people like their comfort food.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm glad we had this talk.
Me too. It's weird like talking to you rather than just listening to you.
Yeah, it's I don't know what to say. I don't know what that experience is like. That's one of those things I can't experience for myself. But look, man, it's all good. Well, how about this? Let's listen to one more song and then maybe I'll hang up on you. So if you have something you've been dying to say, you've come in here and you're like, hey man, one last thing, you son of a bitch, quit making fun of, I don't know, I got nothing. I'm just trying to give you ideas. I just want that sentence to be it has to start with, now listen here, you son of a bitch. So look, I want to listen to this one from Cat Temper. This song is called Welcome to My Nightmeow. He likes puns. Yeah. All right, and that was Cat Temper with the track Welcome to My Nightmeow. And this is Andy's Playlist Warehouse. We've been listening to cool songs and talking to cool people. And I've been chatting here with David Evans, all the way in Cambridge, all the way from Ireland. And, you know, we're having a good time. But now I'm going to hang up on you. So is there something you want to say before I hang up on you?
No, not particularly, Andy. I've just really enjoyed listening to the show and I've had this opportunity to have a little chat with you. And
you seem like a very calm and sort of collected guy. Is that true?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I think, funnily enough, like I don't speak to people a lot, if that makes sense. You know? So like, yeah, hopefully that doesn't come across.
Well, whatever. You got your wife, you got a dog. What else do you need? Who else do you need to talk to?
Probably my colleagues, I guess. But it's all good.
Colleagues. Who needs them? Am I right?
Yeah, no, they're nice guys.
Well, I'm sure they're nice people. All right, man. Well, look. You have a lovely day over there and get back to work and make sure that Biskit doesn't rip your couch apart.
Nice. Thanks a lot, Andy.
All right, and that was my chat with David Evans. See, look how fun this is, chatting with all these people all over the world. And I got somebody else on the line now. So who am I chatting with now? It's Greg, a.k.a. Ulyss. Are you still making music?
Yeah. I'm still making music. I released like a song under Ulyss, I think. I'm trying to think when the last time was we spoke.
When you were a guest, wasn't that like 8 years ago or something?
Dude, it was 2018. Actually, I was listening to your podcast. I was listening to the your Dream Kid one, but I noticed, I was like, when was the last time I talked to Andy on the show? And the episode was 171. It looks like it was released on November 19th, 2018. Wild.
Look at that, eh? So if I was capable of doing math, I could tell you how many. Pretty much exactly 5 years ago.
Since then, I feel like I've kind of dialed it back a little bit, which is fine.
You just dialed back the chemicals that made you hyper, or you dialed it back in your own mind?
No, I dialed it back in my soul. Like, I mean, I'll get excited and stuff, but it depends. Like, if I'm listening to music and stuff, I'll be like, oh, this is fucking awesome, or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get excited, Greg, and sometimes you get lounge, Greg. I think I'm lounging right now, but I don't know. You get me excited, Andy. I could start getting, you know, rowdy.
Hey man, well look, the time to get rowdy is now. We're experiencing Andy's Playlist Warehouse. It's a very exciting thing. So what have you been up to the past years since I spoke with you?
Yeah. Oh, so I am releasing music under Ulyss, but not as much. I did create a song for the Cyberpunk 2077 game. They had a competition. They didn't use my song. Listen, I thought it was a banger. I really liked the song a lot, but the more I listened to the songs they chose a lot of like what seemed to be kind of like K-pop and just different styles.
Yeah.
They said to write a song as if you were like a headliner band that might be like touring around. And I was like, oh, I'm going to pretend I'm like some band that lives in Night City in that game. And I wrote a song from that perspective. So yeah, I just released a song, I think it was October. It was called Night City. So I released that under Ulyss. But what I've been doing now is I decided that I wanted to make a lot of chill synth stuff that my friends could work to, because a lot of them really liked that Galactic Delivery record that I did for like that video game. Is very chill, spacey synth. And I was like, okay, well, no one can spell Ulyss. Like, no one knows what the fuck I'm saying when I'm like, oh, it's Ulyss. Like, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, I need to do a different project, one that's has a clear vision, that's consistent, and I'm not going to be singing in, just making chill synth stuff that people can listen to. So I started a new project that you can spell and understand, which is called TV in Bed.
I was hoping it was going to be like Xerxes 49, but the Roman numeral for 50 or whatever.
and it ends with an A, so all the A's are upside down V's.
Yeah, that's my favorite modern band name trope, is like when they remove all the vowels from the word, so I don't know how to fucking say the name.
Is that modern? I hope that's fucking done with, bro.
I know there's still people who are doing it, and I always have to ask. I'm just like, how do you say this? Because in my imagination, I can put whatever vowels I want in here. Sometimes it's like an obvious word, and sometimes it isn't. Like there was this dark synth artist I played a few months ago called Synthister.
Okay.
So it's like sinister, but like Synthister.
I like it when you say it. How do they spell it?
SNTHSTR.
So no vowels.
Yeah, so when I first saw it, I'm like, this is either Synthister or Synthstar, because I can start putting in vowels.
Yeah.
And so I made the assumption, because I'm like, well, it's dark synth, so it's probably Synthister. But listen, we'll keep talking, but I want to listen to some music, all right?
Right.
Because that's what we're doing here. That's what this month is all about, is listening to all the awesome music and talking with people. And you're a person, and now here's some music. This is L'Avenue with the track Moonlight. And that was Moonlight by Lavenue on Andy's playlist Warehouse, where we're just listening to cool songs, chatting with cool people like Mr. Greg, makes music as Ulas, spelled U-L-A-S, but we've just been informed of his new musical project, TV in Bed, more kind of spacey vibes. Now, is TV in Bed the same style as your Galactic Delivery Service album? Because that was a cool album. I like that one.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. People that like lo-fi may like it, but it's not like lo-fi. I would say that if you're interested in what TV in Bed sounds like, go listen to it.
Hey, man, listen, I don't listen to music here. What gave you that idea?
Yeah, I know. I'm having a lot of fun doing it, though. I recently left my tech job, and I'm focusing like solely on music. I'm actually going to be opening a studio soon.
Wait a second. When I talked to you last time, are we like several careers from where you were when I first talked to you? I feel like you were in an office or something.
Yes, I was in an office. So it was 2018. I was working as a quality assurance coordinator. So like I was in QA for a company that was in the automotive industry. Then I left that job right before COVID for a job that was going to be remote anyway, working for a company that does like single sign-on. So, you know, when you go to like a website and it says, do you want to log in with Google or Facebook or whatever? It was like an identity company that helps protect your identity and make sure that you're safe and secure. Okay. And I learned, I'm like, that's way safer. You should always click yes. Like Google already has your information, so does Facebook. So like if you're using those, you should sign in with those. They're safer versus just making a whole new username and having some Joe Blow keep your password saved in an Excel on a server somewhere that's bound to get hacked. But so I switched. This is a long answer. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
So I switched from that career to like working as like a trainer for an identity management company, and then they were bought by Okta for like 6 or 8 billion. And I worked at Okta for a little while, and then I left Okta recently and had some people that I know that I've worked with before that wanted to invest in having me open a studio. And I was like, well, we could do it if it was kind of like a hybrid where it would be something like, so the studio that we're opening is going to be focused on like helping early career musicians. So if you're like, oh, I like making music or I play guitar and I sing, but I don't know how to record, it's kind of like, okay, I got you. Like, we'll help record you. Whereas if you go to a normal studio, they kind of go, they'll record you, you do your time, and they give you your mix or your stems, and you kind of go from there. This would be kind of like more of like a mentorship thing to help people get their career started, or just at least figure out how to accomplish what their goals are. If you just wrote a song for your grandma and you're like, oh, can you help me record this and make it sound nice? I'm like, yeah, like I'll actually care about recording you versus just, you know, just recording you and be like, here you go, kid. Thanks for the money. So
you ever written a song for your grandma?
Well, both my grandmothers are dead. So
way to bring things down, man. You could just lie.
well. I did write a song for my grandmother back in 2002. Yeah. So I did, Andy. I did.
So then the answer to that question is yes.
Yes. Yeah. All right, ask me again. You can edit it out. I know you don't do that, but let's pretend. I always love that this show's like for overall. You're like, nope. But go ahead, ask me again.
Well, how about this? My new question is, do you like listening to cool music?
Yeah. Can you play me some music, Andy? Some cool music?
I got a cool one here from Proper Disco. This is Filter Bubble Prisons.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Disappear.
And that was Filter Bubble Prisons by Proper Disco. We're taking part right now in Andy's playlist warehouse, playing all sorts of cool songs and chatting with the awesome listeners and supporters of Beyond Synth and people who are former guests, like Greg, who I'm talking to right now, aka TV in Bed, aka Euless, aka a guy who worked at an identity company.
Yeah, that doesn't work anymore. You know, like this show is an awesome show. I found the show, I don't even know. When did you start the show?
2013, August.
Nice. I remember I showed my one friend, and years later. Wait, that's funny that I showed a friend?
No, you worded it as I showed my one friend.
Oh, yeah, he is my one friend. Yeah, and I showed him the show, and he loved it. And I remember him being like, "This is so great, dude." He has I love how he talks. He's like, and I love this show. Oh my god, the episode with La Cassette, so good. His name is Harris. He's probably gonna listen to this. So yo, what's up, Harris? It was just cool to see somebody be like so behind in the show, and they're like just listening to the show during work.
So why am I talking to you? I should be talking to this Harris guy, man. He sounds like a riot. Get him on the phone.
You should talk to Harris. He loves 80s stuff. He loves games, movies, and he is a riot. You should definitely talk to Harris. But I just remember like showing him the show and he just loved it. And I loved it, but it was really cool to hear from somebody, talk to me about how much they love the show and stuff. I know you've got a lot of supporters and love. And I was kind of curious how I want to thank you for having this show. I discovered a lot of awesome music through your show. Deep diving on Bandcamp when I first discovered synthwave and different synth genres. Deep diving was one thing, and then the other side was having this like perspective that you would provide listening to artists and hearing them talk about their music was really awesome. And
dude, a fucking ladybug just flew on my face.
Where did it hit you? In the eye?
On the top of my nose area, like on the side. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I thought it was like, sometimes like a fruit fly or something gets in your face, and yeah. I wasn't prepared for my finger to touch a ladybug. Like I was like, oh, this is gonna be like a little bug I'm gonna swat out of the way. There's a fucking ladybug. Why is there a ladybug in here? It's like cold outside. This isn't ladybug season or ladybirds.
I had one in my office last week, and I was like, "What's the deal? Aren't you dead yet?" Like,
yeah, that's how I used to greet my grandma.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Aren't you dead yet?
Hey, how are you? Ain't you dead yet?
Yeah.
Where's my fucking inheritance?
Yeah,
because I really wanted that sweet old lady cash.
Did you get it?
No, I don't think there really was any money.
Was it because you said, "Where the fuck is my inheritance"?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
Whenever I'd see her, just like smack her around. Where's the cash? Yeah. No, my grandma was a nice lady, but we're not like some wealthy family or whatever. So I don't think we got some of her old furniture, but then a lot of it.
How did it smell? Old?
Well, it does now.
It smells older with you.
Yeah, well, because it is older. Because she died, I think, when the fucking Avengers came out on Blu-ray. And so since then, this furniture has been in my dad's basement, which sucks because it's actually, the quality of her furniture is better than the quality, like the furniture we had in our apartment or whatever, because she bought proper, cupboards made out of wood and stuff instead of particle board. But then they all warped and got weird, so I've been slowly just sort of disassembling them, and I'm using some of that scrap wood to build an arcade machine.
Nice.
Now let's listen to some music, and we'll come back with Greg. So look, I got one here from Johan Baeckström. I had him on the show a few seasons ago. He's cool, makes retro-sounding synth pop stuff that I dig, and this track is called Forever in Here by Johan Baeckström.
Kept inside my bubble. I need to
and that was Forever in Here by Johan Baeckström. And we're back on Andy's playlist warehouse, listening to fun music, talking to fun people like Greg, who is sitting around, looking around. He wants to build a studio. So I don't even get it. So do you have a job right now, or are you in the planning stages of making a studio?
Yeah, I'm in the planning stages. So the idea to start a studio came up in July with some investors, and they said, do you think we could do it? Do you think it'd be profitable? And I was like, yeah, if we did it differently. And then I described how it would be different to you. And then, we were looking at being a nonprofit to kind of, put our money where our mouth is, in the sense that we're trying to build a community and help people. And we're still looking into being a nonprofit, but it's just, being a nonprofit can be really complicated. So right now we're in the process of, we're busy building like the business and getting everything legitimate. And we want to legitimately start in January.
Wait, hold on. Okay, I'm not a businessman. Yeah, so I don't understand how things work. Why would someone want to invest in something that's a nonprofit?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Explain.
Yeah, so nonprofits, it doesn't mean you don't make a profit. All the money it makes goes back into the business, but they do pay their employees. So if I had a salary at the nonprofit, I would get paid my salary, and so would all the other employees, but all the money that was like left over, whatever, not even just left over, but still would go back into the business. And there isn't, as we say in, the business world, there's no clear exit, or there's no exit in the sense that you don't get to leave with stock options, or you can't take money when you leave, versus like if you started like a normal kind of business, if it did really well, you could be like, this did well, I've been here for 5 years, I'm just going to take my shares and leave, and you can kind of cash out, but you can't cash out in a nonprofit.
Can you convert a nonprofit into a profit?
So I'm going to be very clear that I don't know a lot about nonprofits. It's something that we've been looking into. Well, no, I just want to be like, you're not talking. I want to be very clear to your audience. I'm not a specialist, but no. Like, ask me that question again, because I want to make sure I heard you correctly.
So the question was, what is your Star Wars rankings?
Rankings?
Yeah. If you're going to go from best to worst.
I mean, everybody says Empire, right? Was the nonprofit shit that bad that we just moving on? But no, I don't think you can't convert them because you can't lean the system. So, but I'm not, here we go. I'm going to get berated. I'm not a big Star Wars fan. I used to be. I like good writing, and therefore I don't like a lot of Star Wars. I don't think a lot of it's written well. I think the original Star Wars were good because there wasn't much budget. There was a team of people that were like working together and questioned Lucas, versus like all the yes men that were probably like when they were making the prequels, like, oh, you got it, George, whatever you want. Like, I feel like there was a team of people that really made Star Wars what it was. But fucking Andor absolutely slapped. I think Andor is probably the best Star Wars thing I've ever seen. I loved Andor. Did you watch Andor?
I haven't finished it. Sometimes I just get distracted, like I start watching something, and like I started watching Invincible, that cartoon, and I saw like the first two, and it was like, I was watching going like, this is a good cartoon, and then I just didn't watch the rest of it.
That was good, but I actually stopped watching Invincible because, without spoiling anything, there was an episode that got pretty violent, and I'm totally okay with violence. I guess I wasn't in the mood.
Do you mean the first episode?
No, it seemed to me, if I recall correctly, it got more violent than it made sense to. It seemed like they were like, let's get really violent. And it was like, what? To show this person's brutality. And I just was like, I don't know. Like, I feel like they didn't do it right.
Are you sure you're not talking about episode 1?
Oh, I'm sure.
Episode 1's the one that ends where Omni-Man like squeezes that dude's head.
No, dude, it gets violent. There's like mass killings and stuff. And like, I like shows like The Boys, and I like dark stuff. So I was kind of surprised. I was like, you're just like trying to be violent for violence sake. It wasn't like it was really being pushed by the plot. I don't know. I kind of got turned off by that, versus like other shows. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, it makes sense for the plot that this person would do this. But
I'll tell you what makes sense to me, listening to music. So let's listen to this track from Gemwave. This is Purple Flowers. And that was Purple Flowers by Gemwave on Andy's playlist Warehouse. I'm Andy, and this is my warehouse full of awesome songs that I've been wanting to play all year.
This is a big warehouse.
Yeah, man, it's huge.
These are all CDs and tapes. You got like all kinds of different formats here.
Yeah, man. Well, that's like, Raiders of the Lost Ark at the end, where they go to that place where they keep the all the boxes.
What's the rent on this place? How are you affording to keep this warehouse open?
Well, it's rent controlled.
I'm excited to hear these songs. How do you feel now that you've been doing this show for so many years, hearing tons of synth music, all different genres? Are you like, I'm sick of it. I'm fucking sick of synth.
I love music, and so I need it as fuel, and so I'm always excited. Like, I always go into every situation positively, like, and hoping that it'll be good, like when people send me music and stuff.
Yeah.
It sounds cheesy, but I genuinely want that. So the only thing I'm tired of, I get bored of cliches.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But I don't get bored of, like, there's certain chord arrangements that always make me happy and note combinations and stuff. What bores me is, like, another artist coming out with a name that's, fucking Night Streets 81, or, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, we had that, right? There was only so many options that were happening in the early days, right?
Yeah, and there's a lot of, like, sort of instrumental synthwave where there's no progression, because the thing is, I'm pretty simple to please. Like, I like cool bass lines, I like arpeggios, there's certain chord progressions that always make me happy, but there's some people who just make music where, like, the bass line is just like and they just do that for like 4 minutes, and there's no real progression to the song. It's just like they do have a chord, but then it's just the same chord for like 4 minutes. It's like, and like there's no build, there's no excitement, there's no like drop and then something else. And so like there's nothing wrong with traditional song structure in these things. Like that doesn't bug me. It's just cliches. Same with lyrics.
Yeah.
There's like certain kind of lyrics I hear where I'm just like, so you're just going to be the 1 billionth person to make this rhyming scheme or whatever. And there was a point where I was just calling out the tape deck cliche of like songs starting with the sound effect of a tape being pressed, like the tape deck sound.
Yeah.
And the thing was too, is like most people who did it, they also were using the same tape deck sound.
Oh no.
You find it online, right? It's like a rewinding, like zzz, click, and then their song would play.
Yeah.
And I just called it out. I'm just like, look, I mean, it's been done. I get it. It's like a rite of passage. A lot of artists who I love have done it.
Yeah.
When I say that, if someone thinks like, oh, fucking The Midnight has a song like that, and Michael Oakley has a song like that, and I'm like, I know they do. They're also great songs.
Yeah. I wonder how early in their career or musical journey those people are where the song like doesn't progress. And with the stuff that I'm doing, I was thinking about that when I started this new project. When I do this TV in bed stuff, I'm trying to be different. Not so different where it's like, this is unlistenable, like this is so trash, like these drums are fucked, whatever. But I try to enjoy myself and just do something where when you listen to it, if I sent you 3 TV in bed songs and then I sent you another one, but anonymously, like I'd hope that you would think like, oh, this kind of sounds like TV in bed. I try to have like my own identity. I think The Midnight is a really great example of a band, 2 people that have really had experience and careers outside of that and put their experience together, kind of meshed that together, and then every release decided to try something different. And I think that is like what is exciting about music to me, when you have something that's different. It's not so extreme where it's like, wow, I don't like this band anymore. It's kind of like, oh, like they're just trying to like do different things and push things forward.
I mean, that's also important. That shows like the sign of an artist as well, when there's a compulsion to make music. But it also depends on different genres do have different functions as well. With synthwave, since it is this sort of cinematic thing, there needs to be sort of chord progressions and stuff like that, because you're painting a picture. And so like if you're driving along the coast and listening to this song, there's a part in the movie that you're imagining in your head where something happens. Like you're not just imagining a 4-minute scene where a guy is just driving and it's just filmed from the side and nothing happens.
Yeah. If I'm studying or doing my homework or whatever, I don't want the music to also be doing homework. Like take me, it's like a 4-minute loop of 4 chords. It's like, hey, like, all right, not listening to that again. Because
there is some music I listen to, like kind of chill out sort of Zen music, because I can work to it easier. Because I will admit, if songs do have a lot of, there's like a build up and there's all this stuff going on, sometimes I find it distracting because then I start to just imagine movie scenes and stuff. So I can't necessarily, in quotes, do my homework while I'm listening to really cool music, because I just get taken away. So I do need to listen to sometimes like kind of Zen chill out music where it is like set like these big like 12-minute songs and they're sort of like slow drones. But at the same time, I still do like there to be some kind of cool melody that kind of pops in from now and again, like, or else I might as well just listen to ocean noise.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting about that is, I don't know if I learned it from Hans Zimmer or John Williams, but maybe both. You can sing John Williams songs. Like, if I was to go, na, 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 right? Like, you know what that is. Like, fuck you if you don't. Everyone listening to this like knows what that's
like. Fuck you if you don't.
Yeah, 100%. So when I write music, I try to make sure something that I can sing. I guess it's working. You know, there's two people that like my music, me and my girlfriend. No.
Nice.
No, but my girlfriend will like sing my songs to our cats. She'll sing their names. She'll throw their names in as like lyrics and stuff, or like when we're giving them treats or feeding them and stuff. And it's cute. And honestly, if just my girlfriend likes my music, I'm like, cool. Like that is bringing joy to like our household and to my girlfriend. And
yeah, well, that's nice. My wife doesn't like anything I do. Hey, listen, I want to listen to some more music. I got a cool one here from Rogue 41, and then we got to hang up on you. We've been talking for a while.
Damn.
So I'll give you the floor when this fucking song is done. Right. But I want to listen to this. This is a Rogue 41 with The Unknown Part 2. And that was The Unknown Part 2 by Rogue41. And I'm here right now in my giant playlist warehouse listening to cool songs and talking to cool people. We've been talking to Greg, who of course is also makes music under the banner of Euless, also makes music under the banner of TV in Bed, and is now going to be hung up on by me. So you've got 2 seconds before I hang up on you. What do you want to say?
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. It was awesome to talk to you. I really appreciate everything you do for this community, and it's been huge to listen to your show and to be on it. So thanks for having me.
You got any cool Christmas plans?
No, I don't have any Christmas plans yet. Do you? Is this part of the show or we're done?
No, we're still going.
Okay. Well, after the show, do you have like a minute? I actually wanted to tell you about something that I thought was pretty cool that I did, but I'm not trying to plug it on the show.
Ooh, look at you, eh? You and your secrets. Now the audience is going to be like, what did they talk about? Man, when they hung up the phone, what did they talk about?
I don't mind talking about it. I just know that we're trying to wrap this up here. You know, this is not about me. It's about your awesome show. I'm just like, can I sit in and talk to how cool, you know, can I take a peek inside your warehouse there, Andy?
Well, that's what we've been doing.
Yeah.
That's why it's all very exciting. Well, look, listen.
Yeah.
I want to know about these secrets now. So I'm going to hang up on you.
All right.
And then you can tell me all about it. So, Greg, I hope you have a happy holiday and New Year's and have fun with your girlfriend and your cats.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Cheers.
Cheers, man. All right, and that was Greg, aka Euless, aka TV in Bed, and now it is time to go. I've got to go back to Andy's workshop and finish editing the last few conversations I had. So there's going to be one more Andy's Playlist Warehouse, and that is going to wrap up Season 11 of Beyond Synth. And on next week's episode, I'll give you a clearer picture of what the schedule is going to be like for when the show comes back and all that stuff. I just have a bunch of things I got to do. But in the meantime, I hope you all have a lovely day. I don't imagine the other episode will be out before New Year's, because that only gives me like a day or 2 days or whatever, so that's not enough time for me. But have a happy New Year. Don't build it up. Don't be like, hey man, this New Year's gotta be awesome, because it'll be a disappointing thing. Go into New Year's like I do, with no expectations, and then you'll end up having a pleasant time. Although I think several people in my house right now have COVID, so I imagine that my New Year's will be spent inside, not going anywhere, so I do not spread the novel coronavirus on people. That'll be my New Year's gift to them. So I guess I'll just be hanging out here, playing Mortal Kombat, playing Stardew Valley. I gotta upgrade the town hall in Stardew Valley, so that's what I'm gonna be doing on New Year's. I saved all this fishing. I gotta collect a bunch of fish and bring it to the town hall, so I gotta figure out this stupid fishing mini game, because anyway, look, listen. All right, Happy New Year's, and tune in next time to Beyond Synth, the best synthwave chat show there is.
Beyond Synth Radio is produced by Andy Last. Check the show notes for more information on the musicians featured on the show. Consider supporting Beyond Synth at patreon.com/BeyondSynth. Thanks for listening.